Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here. We're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. This is for the week of October 10th, 2024. The current character challenge is Red Lantern Hal Jordan. That is a 1 week repeat. The required characters for that are Bane, Joker, and Catwoman, who are available at Silver, and Bronze, respectively. His passive is Red Lantern Rage, which is special attacks and and super move use health instead of power, and Red Lantern Hal cannot be healed. He's got 950 attack, 1,400 health. He was last available in September of 2023.
I love how they have to put cannot in big capitals.
Yeah.
And I love how I always want to mess up and say the wrong name, because Red Sun Green Lantern and Red Lantern Hal Jordan are just so close in my mind.
Yeah.
And they get all interlocked. All right. So the problem is Red Lantern Hal Jordan, out of all the different challenge characters that we have played, I think he's probably the only one who, honestly, if you're fighting a team that is of comparable strength, he cannot be your main damage dealer multiplayer. Before he was nerfed, absolutely could. His special 2 was monstrous. He used to be amazing. He's only decent now. And we've got links in the description all across the channel. You can see we've even got a playlist on Red Lantern Hal Jordan. But the first video that we did when he was first released, absolutely monstrous. So there were 2 ways he was nerfed. One, he used to get his power back immediately. So you didn't have to wait before you do the next one. So you could really, and when people say spam, you could spam his special 2.
Yeah.
And that was important because you don't waste time. If you were using the Astro Harness to make him invulnerable and not lose health, you did not waste any time. And I guess the problem with that was you could do super move on your first invulnerability over and over again.
Yeah, because those take almost no real time.
Right.
No in-game time, not real time.
Yeah. And the other problem is that how he's nerfed is his special 2 used to do more than the stated damage. Then it was reduced to less than the stated damage. And the biggest reason why he can't be your main damage dealer, I mean, his output's not bad. It's that there's a limit to the amount of health before he runs out of specials. You can't... There's no really good way to increase his basic damage output or specials output enough to take on a full enemy team of 3 characters that have comparable health to you. Mm-hmm. And he's still okay. If you want to take advantage of his passive so that he's able to get more specials, basically this Astro Harness strategy still works. It's just not unlimited time when you could... when he got his power back right away, you could do like a lot of specials with each period of invulnerability. Now, you can see when we demonstrate him doing a special 1, you can get 2 special 1s on his first invulnerability before you start losing health. John Stewart Green Lantern is a good teammate because when he gives you another invulnerability, that gives you a chance for another free special. Necron Scythe for a revive after you run out of health. And I guess technically you do 2 fourth world gear sets, but it seems like a lot. Any kind of revive.
Although, to be fair, having a whole extra team slot just for making him more useful in John Stewart, it might be easier to get the fourth world gear sets than John Stewart on a different team.
For sure. And so the one thing that's interesting in terms of just the math is special 2 takes 20% of his health. So doing exactly 5 special 2s without taking any other damage, you will do only 4 of them, and the 5th one will knock you out as it drains your health. So what you could do is generally 4 special 2s and a special 1, but if his health isn't easily divisible by 5, you can end up with 1 health or 2 or 3 or 4 after doing 5 specials. And the way to do that is by augmenting his health only a little bit. 1 minor augmentation will give you enough so you can do 5 special 2s as long as you don't take any other damage. I believe, I still never got around testing this, the Merciless, the shield on Taggin to protect him from getting knocked out might do for more special damage, but I gotta check it, and really tagging in and tagging out kills a bunch of time. Mm-hmm. So the version of Red Lantern Hal Jordan you're seeing here is as a super support character. He's got Claw of Horus and Enchantress companion gear so that he can shatter all gears with a quick 2 special 1s because we're leveraging the claws that come in from Enchantress. And because he has to be a support character, he makes a good secondary specialist doing that. But we need a primary. And I mean, you can't really overvalue this. The one thing that slows you down the most, I think, in these fights is the presence of Astro Harness, and he gets rid of that, toot sweet. Mm-hmm. And since Red Lantern Hal Jordan can't be the main damage dealer, this is our excuse to use Teen Titans Raven, who we last used February this year. And for a bunch of different reasons. It's probably not worth it. You go watch your video on February 29th, 2024. But the 25% drain of health and power, the chance of it, and getting all of it back, and her special 2 being so good and super ranged, like you don't have to wait for the opponent to come within range. You can basically launch a special 2 anytime you want. Mm-hmm. It will reach them. They might block, but it will always reach them. So this is a spectacular team. You can tell actually by how fast the fights are going, and they are pretty super fast. Oh, I do want to point out in a couple of these fights, one, how effective. I know this is not Teen Titans Ravens week, but how effective she is against Killing Joker, who's in first slot, but because there's not enough health, she's stealing power and health from the person who's tagging in, so they don't have the 3 bars to launch a super on us. Mm-hmm. She's great. I mean, a lot of other characters, their passive has to be good. Her passive is okay. There's a few nuances in it that we talk about in that last video, but this is sort of the perfect place for Red Lantern Hal Jordan, because if you try to use Rebirth Raven, there's not a lot of synergy. In fact, it's the opposite of synergy, because if you get lucky enough for Teen Titans Raven to steal power and health, there's nothing for Rebirth Raven to steal.
Yeah. So there we go. We are sort of in a little bit of weird uncharted territory, right? In terms of the challenge cycle right now.
So it's week 24. Mm-hmm. And after, 10, 11 characters that came back from the dead, really, like our lost challenge characters have been coming back, alternating with the old ones. Mm-hmm. Now we have 3 in a row of the old challenge, which is a bad sign. And the clue in the store is another bad sign that there's going to be a 4th one. Now, there's still an opportunity. The cycle still has a bunch of characters to go, but we're sort of stuck now in a holding pattern of these 12 missing challenge characters that just don't want to come back.
So we expect next week to be Batman, Ninja Lord, Joker, but it's still hard to say. I guess until the cycle starts repeating again, it'll be hard to say on any given week, or if there's a
except there's a clue in the store for us.
So this week's multiplayer reward is the Gloves of Azrael, which upgrade to be the Gauntlets of Azrael. When it's maxed out, it gives you a 30% max health increase, a 95% life drain chance on Combo Ender, an evolved ability, which is a 95% life drain chance to teammates on Combo Ender. It was last available on the 7th of March, 2024. Nothing's missing, and this cycle hasn't changed in a long time, so we expect to see Blackest Night Superman next week.
Right. So, Gauntlets of Azrael, what are we going to say? It's a 4.5-star gear. It is a completely defensive gear. The health boost, nothing particularly special. The combo ender on life drain used to be unique until the overpowered super came along, which also life drains on combo ender. But it's still special in that the life drain can be for its teammates. Mm-hmm. Cards with extra hits on combo ender, like Raven, Deathstroke, Nightwing, Jessica Cruz, and any of their skins, they do get extra effects from the combo ender. So this gear works really good on a card that's going to be your healer. And if you're already trying to do combo enders anyways for their passive, like Earth 2 Hawkgirl Stun, Ra's al Ghul Scimitar, Overpowered Super, then this is not a bad gear. It gives you a little bit of synergy. Problem is you get more life drain the more damage your combo ender does. So you want this on someone who does a lot of basic damage. But you're using one of a limited number of gear slots, one of 3 gear slots for this that could have otherwise boosted basic damage. So, it's that balance, like a little bit of give and take, right? Mm-hmm. So that's that push and pull. Do you go for offense or do you go for defense? So the more you gear for defense, the more you'll need the defensive abilities. And the more you gear for offense, the less likely you'll need the defensive abilities because you're finishing fights quick. Mm-hmm. We did a video on the gauntlets many years ago, but the principles haven't changed much. We'll link that in the description. The one place where it has changed is that for a card that has overwhelmingly powerful offensive passives, there's some usefulness in using up a slot for defensive abilities to make that character a little tougher. So in the old days, even a strong offensive card still needed some kind of boost with the gears, but someone like Flashpoint Batman can push out a huge amount of basic damage, even with only 2 slots to boost basic damage and crit chance. So this is probably the single most useful gear for the Phantom Zone task of health steal, because it does 2 things. It steals health for the character using this gear, which counts towards the task, and it steals health for each of the other teammates, which also counts for the health steal task. So if you use it at the beginning of the fight, you'll get 3 times the benefit of the amount of health that you actually steal. Triggering Gauntlet's health steal 3 times is enough to satisfy the requirements for stealing health at the elite crystal level in the first fight, where there is the least amount of Phantom Zone bonus for winning in multiplayer. So it's pretty spectacular. Like, it's super useful gear for Phantom Zone. In later fights with better bonus multipliers, even 1 or 2 steals is enough, because Batman, who we use gauntlets on, has multiple combo ender hits. So you're just leveraging everything into finishing that task really quickly. And other gears just don't do as good a job.
Yeah. So there we go. Moving on to the store. This is the hint for the challenge that you were talking about. We have the Batman, Ninja Lord, Joker, Demon King bundle. $24.99 Canadian. All prices in Canadian because that's the info we have access to.
Yeah.
And that is a corroborating clue to next week's challenge. It comes with 100,000 power credits. It does not unlock in the store. See, now when you say it's not the only currency that matters, I want to say it to sort of correct myself.
$24.99
so for you to
Canadian.
Coming
it's
in
the
with
only
it. Yeah.
currency that matters. It's true.
Anyways, we also have the character bundle Rebirth Team, also $24.99, and that comes with Rebirth Wally West, who's a multiplayer exclusive, and Rebirth Green Arrow, who's a challenge exclusive. So, right. I would say relatively a better deal than the Ninja Lord Joker pack, but relative, it's still not a great deal by itself.
Yeah.
Arkham Pack 1 is in its 2nd week, and I believe that's everything new in the store.
Right. Newish, yeah. Because everything else has been there for at least a couple of years.
Yeah.
Getting on 3 years now. There's a bunch of packs like the Character Bundle Batman Universe, the Most Wanted pack, and all the celebration packs. Wow.
Yeah, it's a long celebration. Yeah. Phantom Zone is finished. Fight 62 is still broken. Last weekend's breakthrough for golds was Catwoman, Deathstroke, and Raven. So this coming weekend should be Cyborg, Batgirl, and Black Adam. And there is a link in the description to a thread in the Injustice Mobile subreddit from Devlin16 that goes through the complete breakthrough cycle to check it out for yourself.
All right, so I'm going to point out something that normally isn't an issue, but I'm disappointed that there isn't double XP this weekend because it's Canada Thanksgiving coming up.
Yeah, they don't care about Canadian Thanksgiving as much as American Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, as far as the current glitches go, we go into more detail anytime something changes or on the first weekly episode of every month. That was the 2nd of October 2024. Most recently, nothing has changed. So all we'll say is that the challenge reset glitch is tested and confirmed to be working on the current Red Lantern Hal Jordan challenge. So there we go. To finish up, we'd like to give a huge thank you to our lovely and wonderful patrons on Patreon.
That would be Michael Devries, Irvin, Ruiz, Hoshi127, and Nora Klimek, who are supporting us on the credited level.
So there we go. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks so much to all of you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Komoda.